What's really at the center of the universe? Vast, mysterious, shapeless, and most likely infinite, it feels almost impossible that we'll ever fully explore the universe. We once thought that we were at the center of it all, but is there actually any truth to the idea that everything revolves around humanity? This is Unveiled, and today we're answering the extraordinary question, what's really at the center of the universe? Are you a fiend for facts? Are you constantly curious? Then why not subscribe to Unveiled for more clips like this one, and ring the bell for more fascinating content. For centuries, the geocentric model ruled popular and academic thought when it came to understanding our own place in the universe. Also called the Ptolemaic system after the Roman astronomer Ptolemy, it was an ancient belief that planet Earth was truly the center of everything. It was such a widespread and accepted explanation that even Aristotle helped to popularize it. According to this model, a fixed spherical Earth existed at the center of every imaginable construct. The moon, stars, and sun all orbited around it. Out beyond the planets were the heavens and other realms we now generally assume don't exist. Or if they do, they're probably not hiding behind any planets in outer space. Because of this model, people believed that Earth lay at the center of the universe itself. And in even earlier flat Earth belief systems, similar theories persisted with the flat Earth in the middle of all existence. Today, it's easy to dismiss these ideas thanks to centuries of study proving that the Earth is a globe which belongs to the solar system, orbiting the sun. However, the basic idea that the Earth really is at the center of our universe might not be as ludicrous as it seems. In fact, it's essentially true. The Earth is as much as anywhere else can be. And that's because, according to the cosmological principle, there isn't actually a center of the universe at all, which from another perspective also means that everywhere is the center. To have a center, the universe would need to have an observable edge, or even a shape, which it doesn't. And while it's true we can only observe so much thanks to the speed of light, this isn't the same as having a defined edge at all. In general, we tend to imagine a universal center because common ideas about the Big Bang are actually wrong, or at least according to contemporary science. The general assumption is that the Big Bang was an enormous explosion at the dawn of all existence, which created everything in the universe. But there are plenty of physicists who doubt that this is true. To them, though the name is a bit misleading, the Big Bang wasn't an explosion at all, but rather a rapid inflation of space itself. Once at the beginning, the universe was impossibly small and finite, and when the Big Bang happened, it began to expand. The best way to understand this is through a famous balloon analogy, first told in the 1930s. It says that the universe is like a balloon with dots already drawn onto it. Those dots stand in for galaxies, celestial bodies, various points of interest, and as the balloon is inflated, the dots grow further and further apart. And that's expansion. If you were minuscule and you stood on the surface of that balloon, the center could be anywhere. The Big Bang happened everywhere all at once simultaneously and is actually still happening today, because the universe is still expanding. Another way to understand this is to consider that everything in the universe right now also existed when the Big Bang happened. It's just that as the years roll by, the universe gets less and less dense and things spread out. In terms of concrete scientific evidence to prove this, we have redshift. First observed by renowned astronomer Edwin Hubble in the 1920s, redshift is the light wave equivalent of a sound wave phenomenon that's much easier to observe. The sound wave version is called the Doppler effect and refers to how sounds, perhaps sirens, change pitch the closer or further away from you they are. We're more easily able to perceive the Doppler effect rather than redshift, the same thing but for light waves, because sound travels so much slower than light. Regardless, both of these effects happen because of how waves change over a distance. Sound waves are shorter and therefore higher the closer they are to you, while light waves are longer and therefore redder the further away the object being observed is. Distant planets and galaxies appear further on the red end of the visible light spectrum, and get more and more red, until eventually becoming infrared and invisible to the naked eye. From our position, this is happening to all celestial bodies, and it's how we know that the expansion of the universe is ongoing. Like the dots on the surface of the balloon, everything is infinitely spreading out. Only it's moving further and further on a scale so huge it's almost impossible to imagine. But how do we know that everything, center or no center, was once held in a much smaller area of space? How do we know that the Big Bang happened at all or when it happened? And can we be sure that objects drifting away from each other were once much, much closer together? These are questions with another reasonably simple answer: cosmic microwave background radiation. This radiation is present throughout the universe and can be traced back to about 400,000 years after the Big Bang. Where once it was staggeringly hot, Today, 13.8 billion years later, CMB has cooled to around 2.7 degrees above absolute zero, making space a very cold place to be. But the most interesting part is that CMB is always this temperature no matter where you look in the sky. It's been said that if radiation was made of visible waves rather than microwaves, then the entire universe would be illuminated identically in any possible location. Because the universe is uniform like this, we know that it was once smaller and closer, and again, we know that expansion is happening everywhere. Of course, though, science could be wrong. Perhaps our understanding of the universe is just as ludicrous when compared to the elusive truth as our previous beliefs about the sun orbiting the Earth now seem. Maybe we just don't have the instruments, the knowledge, or the comprehension to really understand space, let alone put a pin in its middle. Perhaps somewhere there really is a universal center, but if there was, it's incredibly unlikely that it would be anywhere near Earth at all. It'd be a law of averages almost impossibility because the universe is just too huge. Think about it. If expansion really did occur from a singular point and the Big Bang was a specific explosion, then we'd most probably never be able to observe the mythical center or travel to it. So in that sense, it's much better to accept what modern science tells us, that we really do belong at the center of existence, but so does everything else. Because of the constant expansion of the universe over the last 14 billion years, everywhere and nowhere is simultaneously at the heart of all existence. And that's what's really at the center of the universe. What do you think? Is there anything we missed? Let us know in the comments, check out these other clips from Unveiled, and make sure you subscribe and ring the bell for our latest content.